Morning everyone. So today's talk is about Mary, the mother of Jesus. There's lots of Marys in the Bible, but we're concentrating on her today. So this came from an idea from Mia Jones during one of our youth Zooms. I asked about what they would like to hear talks about, and she said that she would like to hear about women in the Bible. So I thought Mary was a good place to start. So we think we know the story. A teenage girl gets pregnant by the Holy Spirit. Completely normal. Boyfriend freaks out but hangs around to see what happens. They get on a donkey, they have a baby. There are some wise men and shepherds and a bunch of angels that all turn up, and then they all live happily ever after. But that's kind of the thing, they actually don't live happily ever after. I think being the mother of the Son of God 2,000 years ago was no easy option, I'm sure. God chose Mary, I think, because she clearly loved God and was faithful to him. She was Jewish, she was unmarried, but was engaged to Joseph, who was from the line of David. She had the character that God was looking for, and she had a quiet faith and determination to follow God and do whatever he told her. She is unique because of what God asked her to do. But I also think she was chosen because she was also just an ordinary human being, just like us. So I'm going to look at 3 verses that show what kind of a person that she was and give us clues about why God chose her. So the first thing the angel Gabriel says to her in Luke 1 verse 28 in the Message version is "Good morning." Totally normal thing for an angel to say. You're beautiful with God's beauty, beautiful inside and out. God be with you. The NIV version says, "Greetings, you who are highly favoured. The Lord is with you." In the Message version, the phrase "beautiful with God's beauty" stands out, I think. She wasn't beautiful by our standards, or maybe she was, but she was definitely beautiful by God's standards. And we know that he looks much more than skin deep. We can tell from creation that God appreciates beauty when he sees it and celebrates it. But beauty of real lasting value to God is within our hearts. The fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The stuff that goes unnoticed. It's not a showy beauty that craves attention, but one that goes on in the heart. One of my favourite Mary moments is in John 2 verses 3 to 5 during Jesus' very first miracle at a party. They've run out of wine, which in those days would have been a bit of a disaster and a bit of a shame to the family. So Mary tells Jesus, she goes up to him and says, they've got no more wine. So Jesus says, "Woman," which was actually okay back then, but don't try that with your mum. "Why do you involve me? My time has not yet come." So a little bit of an awkward moment. So then Mary completely ignores Jesus and says to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Now, I would have loved to have seen the look on Jesus's face when she said that. She kind of put him on the spot. She knew something he didn't. She knew what he was capable of, and maybe she had decided it was time for him to step up to being the Son of God and start flexing his miracle muscles. I think it shows her wisdom as his mother, the banter that they probably had with each other. She was not overawed by him, and sometimes Jesus just had to do what he was told by his mum. I love that. The third thing that always sticks with me about Mary is something that is mentioned twice about her in Luke, when she hears surprising news or hears something that would be really shocking as a mother. Luke 2 verse 19 says, "But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart." And Luke 2 verse 51, after she has just found Jesus at the temple, astonished and amazed, but also has just told him off for disappearing, it says Mary treasured all these things in her heart. Being the mother of Jesus could have been the ultimate brag, but she kept the signs of his greatness and what was to come in her heart. There must have been times when she was hurt by what Jesus did or what happened to him and how he was talked about by other people. Jesus came to fulfill a mission at cost to himself and his family, and he never took his eyes off that. And we know Mary was there as he died. And we know she was with the disciples after his death and resurrection. And we know that she joined their mission to spread the good news about him too. She had a massive responsibility, but seemed to carry it lightly, with good humour, with passion, and great love for her son. I love how the Bible hints at their relationship and shows us a very human side of Jesus. It's another reason why I wouldn't choose to follow anybody else. While he was here, he had a full, honest, loving relationship with his mum, his family, his friends, and his disciples. He was God in the flesh, God with us. And all because Mary was faithful and chosen by God to bear his son. What an amazing story we have to tell. Thank you for listening.